Alright. Hi, I'm Dan, TheIntenseMango Morissette. This is my VOD review for applying to RMU to be, I guess, the B team coach slash analyst. So, yep, I've already submitted my resume and I guess I'll just hop straight into it. So, I chose to do Game 3, TSM versus Immortals, because there was just a lot of action, a lot of good macro play. Both teams are, full of great individual talent, but they also play well as a team. So I'm probably just gonna go through champ select really quick. Um, basically, so TSM banned Twisted Fate, Zyra, and Nidalee. They know Reignover's Nidalee can completely dominate the jungle. That leaves Rek'Sai up though, and Reignover is a great Rek'Sai player. Um, Adrian, the ban on Zyra for Adrian was a little weird in my opinion. I would have said Karma. Soraka's not that strong right now, but he plays like a ton of Karma. Zyra doesn't seem like his fit. Twisted Fate seems a little bit weird, but I guess it's just TSM probably has a plan for this game and they don't want to have to deal with the global pressure, so that's fine. The Rise ban against Bjergsen is good because obviously, he's a great Rise, great mid laner in general. Uh, I mean, all three of these bans are targeted at Bjergsen. You could argue that Rise or maybe Vlad could be played top lane, but it's pretty obvious that they're all going to be targeting Bjergsen. TSM knows that the bans are going to be targeting Bjergsen, so they have to have a backup pick, and you'll see, later into this game when all the champions get picked, they do have kind of a pocket pick that he's been playing recently. Um, so Irelia, let's see, Irelia, Rek'Sai, Swain. A lot of these priority picks are, you know, they have to be decided upon. And alright, so yeah, the first lock-in from Immortals is exactly what I thought it was going to be: Karma and Victor. Um, Adrian's Karma is incredibly good, and it's just a strong pick right now. Um, so first picking mid was a little bit weird because, or usually it's a little bit weird because you don't want to be able to get counter picks. However, Victor is all around an extremely safe pick, and there's four, arguably five if you include Zyra mid picks that are banned right now. So there's really not much that in terms of counter picking, like Bjergsen could pick Zed, or there's a few other things, but with all the shields, the Victor Q, the Karma shields, picking an assassin probably wouldn't be the best idea. Um, and like I said, Swain was strong during this patch. Usually picked for the top lane. Sometimes it's picked in the mid, but um, I'd say you probably wouldn't want to pick Swain into Victor just because Victor's wave clear. The Swain would be pushed into turret the entire time and it would just go Uh, Yasuo wouldn't be bad. Kindred wouldn't be bad. Um, but, double if picking Lucian, no big surprise there. The 80 carry meta right now is a little bit weird with the item choices. But Lucian with the Ghostblade build, Ashe is just strong right now with all of the crit items. You can get 100% crit. Runons with her Q, just everything synergizes very well. If you notice right now, so one of the biggest things that you can do against Ashe is pick the Olaf, because Olaf just can run her down, and she's just squishy in general. She relies heavily on kiting for herself and the utility aspect, whereas Olaf, if you run straight at an 80 carry late game, you can 100 to 0 them even in a team fight. And so this is more of like they know Reignover is excellent to Olaf, and they don't want Sven to be picking Olaf, or no, not Sven, because he's already got Rek'Sai. They don't want an Olaf to be picked against the Ashe as well. Plus the synergy with the Karma is just like incredibly good, because you can just speed him up and slow him down with the Ashe. There's a lot of utility in this team right now, and Ashe can also be protected by the Karma. There's just a lot of good cohesion. So it's going to be up to TSM to bring this comp together. And one of the things I love about this champ select is the Zillion. So Zillion is not played by anybody else other than a few times by GBM and a few times by Bjergsen, but he always makes it work. So the biggest combo in this game, for sure, is going to be this Bard Zillion and Rek'Sai. So there's a ton of synergy with these three champions. So ideally, the combo would be, you Bard ult, you can put 2 bombs on Sven. Sven hops into the Bard ult, and as they come out of stasis, they get stunned by the Zillion and knocked up by the Sven. The other combo is you can Bard ult and then just toss 2 bombs down on the stasis. When they come out of stasis, they get instantly stunned, and then Sven follows up with a knockup. Overall, just a lot of good synergy. Immortals is just looking to, play the rotation, the split game. Irelia is a great 1v1er. Swain is a little bit more difficult to kill in a 1v1 because he just gets so inherently tanky. He's a little bit like Vlad. But I think the pick of Olaf was a good thing. So let me just skip into the game so we don't have to watch the loading screen here. Alright. So we see normal lanes so far. Both teams know that it's normal lanes, and Reignover pops Ghost. Huni starts Q, Hanser has to flash. Alright, so if we take into account what just happened, so they get the top laner flash, they get Reignover's Ghost at 47 seconds though. So Hanser is going to be able to recall and walk back. He's not going to have to blow TP. We also know that Huni started Q, and we see the items. So basically the items look very similar across the board. The only difference is the Corrupting Potion and Doran's Ring in the top lane. So I would imagine Huni would be looking for a lot of trades early in this game because he wants to pressure Hanser really bad. And, Huni's a great 1v1er. Irelia is a great 1v1 champion. And having Flash Up just in that 1v1 scenario is just absolutely, lane changing. And so we see Adrian and Wild Turtle coming up to the top lane. So TSM doesn't know this yet. They, in TSM's eyes, what they think is that it's going to be standard lanes. But they know that their top laner doesn't have Flash. So I assume both teams are swapping because Immortals wants to put the pressure on Hanser. They know he can't defend that turret. Hanser actually wants to play on the safe side of the map, so bot side, where he's going to have more pressure. He doesn't want to be at risk for being dove because without his flash, he's, that 4-man typical turret take dive is, a big issue for him. So he's probably just going to be jungling with Sven down here. And one of the biggest things in lane swaps is you always need to play towards your strong side. If you try to get greedy, if you try to invade the enemy jungle on the weak side, it's almost always going to bite you in the butt. It's a lot about realizing where the other jungler is going to be, and supports are really good at this. Adrian is one of the great players at just kind of like screwing with lane swap jungles. If you saw earlier, he walked into this blue side to figure out where they were, so they knew that Rek'Sai is going to be on the bottom side, so they know that the top side jungle is all going to be clear. And so if we take a look at this mid lane, it's basically a lot of wave clear. Neither team really has a great, fight in this mid lane. The combo, I guess, the best 2v2, I would actually give it to TSM, but in a prolonged 2v2, I would give it to Immortals because they've got the shields and stuff. They've got the Ghost and Ragnarok if he's 6. So I think the sustained damage for Immortals is actually much nicer in that mid lane. But if it's a burst, just like a one-off gank, and they get that Bjergsen stun off, then I think they'll be able to 100 to 0 him. Um, but yeah, so we see the lane swap happening. Turtle doesn't feel dangerous being this low because, you know, he assumes that Rek'Sai is going to be on the bottom side, right? Rek'Sai being up here as it is just dangerous. I think it's dumb. I mean, Rek'Sai is a fairly safe champion. He's still got flash. He's got his tunnels. But there's no reason for him to be up here, you know? It's just risky, easy to get picked off. They've got a lot of CC, a lot of stuns, and I guess he just really wanted to get that blue buff. But as you see, what's happening is he's going for his blue buff over here. He's trying to get the 3 buff, and he's just wasting time. Sven is just not doing anything. And he doesn't even have smite, so I don't see why he would do that. I think it might have been better to get dragon control, maybe get the scuttle, take the gromp, maybe even, you know, get a gank on mid lane. But going for that blue is just greedy and dangerous, and no matter how much information you have, you know they've got 4 people on the top side. So he's lucky that it worked out, but he didn't get the blue buff, so it's just a lot of wasted time. And as you can see, Reignover right now, 20 CS to 12. That's a big deal. Reignover is going to get the first back. Rek'Sai is still in his jungle, but this is, you know, it's later right now. He should have been in that jungle when he was over at the blue, and then they'd be even in CS, you know? But in reality, he's down 6 just because of that one decision. So he's kind of lucky that Reignover isn't here, because if you take a look right now, so the turrets got taken, and they're back to standard lanes. But if you look at the map, look at how deep Rek'Sai is in this jungle. They've got Ashe, Karma, that could just swoop up if they had any vision. They've got Victor that could come down. They've got Olaf that, you know, if he was in this bot side jungle, there would be a real problem for him right now. And that's a huge oversight. Like, exactly like I was saying earlier in the match, you need to make sure that you play towards your strong side in a lane swap, because you just need to keep tabs on the enemy team and where they're going to be. Because if this didn't work out for him, if, you know, he came down, if Pobelter and Reignover came down, he would have been caught right here. However, they made the gamble that he would be going topside, right? Because there's a lot of mind games going on right now. So Immortals knows that Hanser still has flash down, right? So they know Olaf is going to be looking towards this top gank right now. Huni has a level on Hanser. He's also got 16 CS. Hanser has backed first though, and he didn't have to use teleport. So what TSM did, you know, it could have been bad for him to be in that bot side jungle, but they gambled on the fact that Reignover would be going top. And Hanser knows that he's going to be going top, right? And so Rek'Sai, the smart jungler that Sven is looking for this double gank bottom. So if we look at the levels, they're both similar. Doublelift does not have heal though. Must have been blown in an earlier fight. So that's a little bit of a problem. Sven does have flash, and he's coming in for this behind gank, you know? Immortals is going to be a little bit caught off guard, because they wouldn't expect him to be on the weak side jungle, counter jungling, right? It's just kind of a mind game that TSM played. It was a good play, and they're kind of getting the feel of it right now, because they know. And so Hanser TP comes into zone, and then he realizes he's getting ganked by both of them. So my problem with this is that TSM, you know, in order for this to be a smart play, they had to have known that Olaf was going to be going topside, right? Because Hanser still didn't have flash. They had it timed from the 47-second marker. And, you know, if he knew Sven was bot lane, and he knew that Olaf was probably going to be coming top, he didn't have a tower, he didn't have flash, he blew the TP for pressure down here, he needed to play safe, you know? He needed to give up this, you know, whatever CS. It's going to be pushing anyways. Just sit at tower, play patient, make Reignover waste his time, you know? And then we see Sven down here. Goes for the gank. Both flashes get blown, but he gets nothing because, Karma's safe, Ashe is safe. There's not a whole lot of catch potential without, Bard ult. So TSM comes out way down in this. And if you can see, Huni 25 to 3 CS, Reignover 26 to 16. Bjergsen is winning mid lane. He's just perma pushing, but both AD carries went for culls, so they're expecting a passive lane. And yeah, so the big difference right now is Huni. And Huni hasn't even backed yet, so he's going to be able to go straight into that Triforce or straight into whatever he wants. And he's got the XP advantage, he's got the gold advantage. This split push from Huni on Irelia is going to be very difficult for them to deal with. As I said earlier, TSM's got a lot of CC with that, Swain, Root, the Rek'Sai knockup, the Bjergsen stun, the Bard stun, the Bard ult. They've got a lot of CC, so they're not hopeless right now. In team fights, they're probably thinking they just have to farm it out, make sure that we don't lose that bottom turret, try to keep jungle pressure as well as you can. You see Sven going for tanky Rek'Sai. He's not going for warrior because he didn't get too far ahead. The itemization right now is pretty interesting. So Reignover went for CDR boots and a sight stone. So he's looking, he knows that he's ahead, right? He knows that he's ahead and he knows he has pressure topside. So I know that Reignover is going to be playing around this topside quite a bit for counter ganks, for ganks. The Rift Herald is strong on Olaf and Irelia, so they're going to want to keep pressure on that. And Reignover sees right now how the map is going. He knows that Irelia is stronger in just a fight. He knows that he's stronger than Rek'Sai. Rek'Sai isn't going for damage, so he's going for the passive, farm it out, be the front line, because he's the only tank that TSM has. So Reignover pretty much has full, reign over the enemy jungle. And as you can see, they're pushing up pinks in this bot side jungle. This is pressuring TSM's bot lane so much with Reignover playing. He's just invading constantly, Bjergsen getting a nice trade here, but Turtle is just, freezing this big wave. They have pressure in the bot side, so Immortals knows that the bot lane is going to be headed top because you can't, Doublelift and Biofrost can't safely push into this bot lane anymore because there's so much vision. If you see this line of vision right here, and they've got what, 6 wards in this bot side, and TSM has 0. I mean, 1 in this lane bush if you count that, but I don't count that. So they feel unsafe, as they should be. And so the good team that Immortals is, they recognize this. So they know that TSM sending 4 up here. You can see all the pings coming out of Immortals. They've got all the vision in the bot side. They don't see their bot lane anymore. They know that the bot lane's going top. And Sven Skaren is just kind of sitting in this bush waiting to see how many people are coming. He sees 3 with his tremor sense. Reignover is 6 right now. Sven Skaren is 5. TSM, it doesn't look like Bjergsen. It looks like Bjergsen is the only one who's 6. Bjergsen has TP. Hansar has TP. Bjergsen is close enough though. If we look at the summoners, they know that Turtle doesn't have flash, so Turtle has to play far back or he should be focused. Turtle and Adrian. So that's what we see Sven Skaren doing here. But Reignover is just, he knows that he's stronger at this point, and he's zoning. The dangerous thing right here, though, is the choke. So Huni is not level 6. The only 6 they've got is Reignover, and he's already blown his Ragnarok. They've got Pobelter coming in from the side. So the big thing that could happen right here is Pobelter lands all of his stuff on all 5 of them, and they lose the fight, right? The other thing that could happen is Bjergsen gets a huge stun if they funnel into this area. And so both teams need to be playing this very carefully. And then we see Pobelter coming right here. Comes in for the flash E on all 5 of them. They get the ult on Sven Skaren, but nobody... he does get focused down, so he does get killed. but they pop Biofrost instantly, and so Sven Skaren is going to get chased down. So Pole Belter picks up 2 kills right now. Bjergsen's nice laning phase, he had 10 CS up on him, whatever, kind of gets nulled by that. And then Immortals, as they've been looking for the entire game, go for this Rift Herald. So they know Rift Herald, this is part of the reason Reignover wanted to blow that flash in the first place. They were looking so far ahead at even 47 seconds. So Irelia and Olaf are both gods with Rift Herald. So they knew that they needed to pressure that top lane, and Doublelift going ham right here, as he does. You know, and this situation, I don't even think it's an oversight by Immortals. I think it's just Doublelift kind of having the balls to make the play. He knew what he needed to do at this situation. And he goes in 1v3, gets the triple kill, right? This isn't something that you usually see. But what he knew is that the Rift Herald had gotten them low. Irelia had no mana. Olaf had no ult or ghost. Neither of them had summoners, and he made the gamble that he made the decision that it would be worth it. So they know that Pobelter doesn't have flash right here, so they look for the play, but Bjergsen misses the stun. So right now, I could give play-by-play on every play that they do, but the important thing right now is where are the lanes at? So we know Pobelter has to back. He's the wave clear, right? If Pobelter gets killed at any point, if he gets picked, their wave clear is gone. They're going to lose a lot of objectives. So Pobelter needs to play safe. Thankfully, he's strong. Doublelift is now 3-0. So that's going to be difficult for Immortals to deal with. So the lanes. Immortals bot lane is pushing in right now. So somebody does have to go deal with that. They've got Hanser. He's got TP, so he can deal with it easily. It looks like Immortals is sending their bot lane bottom because Dragon, the Infernal Drake, is the next, conceivable objective. So TSM has to make the choice right now. Does Doublelift, after getting these 3 kills, does he back and go down to the Drake, or does he push and take this turret? So I would say after getting these 3 kills, he's going to be strong. I think he's getting a little bit greedy going for this wave right here, because Immortals is going straight down to the Drake. So Immortals is going to have the time advantage on this Drake. Bjergsen's out of mana, and Pobelter is coming back. Immortals is all back right now. So they have complete bottom control. TSM does have the option of taking Rift Herald pretty freely right now, but they kind of want to trade towers. So they know this big wave is going to be crashing top. That's okay. They're going to lose a lot of CS. But Immortals is getting pressure on this turret. They're getting pressure on the dragon. And TSM is just, you can tell they're behind. They're about 15 seconds behind Immortals right now because Doublelift took this wave top. He got 3 kills. He could have just got it pushing, backed, and it would have had the exact same effect because the wave would have just pushed right into the tower. Wave would have died before anything happened because everyone's bot lane anyways, right? He gets, 30 gold extra for this, lapse of 10 to 15 seconds, which just is not worth it. So unfortunately for Immortals, they don't get the push fast enough, but they don't really feel pressured because, Biofrost isn't even level 6, just gets completely taken out by a nice arrow right here. And Bjergsen's teleport is a little bit slow, but they still pick off Huni because he goes a bit too deep. Huni really did not need to go in for Biofrost right there for him to die. They had Pobelter over the wall, they had landed a nice arrow. That's all they really needed. So now we've got 5 of TSM down here. Doublelift, nice ult by Bjergsen, goes a little bit too ham. But you can see they're all backing off. Reignover doesn't have anything. Bjergsen is making nice plays. He's hitting a lot of bombs. Everything kind of works out for them. I still don't think it was a good play by TSM, just based on the fact that they were behind. They got out macroed by Immortals. But Immortals just made they made individual mistakes, like Huni killing himself, Reignover going too deep, Wild Turtle low on mana going too deep, overstaying basically. And, against a Zillion, it's like a 6v5. And if one person dies, it's a 6v4. That just numbers advantage. Okay, so numbers advantage is a big thing, but if I could rewind just a few seconds. So what I was saying earlier, in this team fight, it's a big deal. So we see right here, Biofrost overextends just a little bit. Like, what is he looking for right here? He's low. Uh, he's not going to stun him. He's not going to stun Rainover. Rainover's got Ragnarok. Irelia has got the tenacity. Adrian's got the shields, and he's far back. There's no reason for Biofrost to be up this far. And Turtle sees this. He sees the stun miss, right? So he knows there's not going to be any retaliation. Instantly shoots the arrow. And so all the call is made. All four of them are on the same page right now. Adrian's going to speed them up. Rainover is going to do the damage. I mean, Biofrost gets hit. And they've got Pobelter over the side. So at this moment, Hooney's not in, right? That's a big deal. And that's a good thing for Immortals at this moment because Biofrost is not going to survive this. Rainover's still got his E. Pobelter is going to kill him, right? All this damage, Hooney's still not in, and Biofrost is dead, right? Hooney dashing in right here is just greedy, It's no reason. They've got a level 7, a level 8 on a level 4 Bard that's stunned. There's no reason to overextend even more than usual. You even have the Adrian Q coming in. Biofrost is not going to survive this. And Hooney overextends by using this Q. And they know that Bjergsen's got TP. All three of TSM congregate around the tower to be safe. And at this point, Immortals has used everything just to pick off the support under tower in a team fight. And so TSM realizes this. They say, alright, there's this split. We've got the tower, we've got the Zillion coming in, and with the Zillion ult, you can think of it as a 5v5 again, because you can revive one person. So, in reality, Immortals has not gained this much, or that much by killing Biofrost. All they've done is just dove a tower, 5v5. And in the mid game, not a smart thing. So then you see Hooney here, just everybody sees he's split off. All four players over here, Hooney right there. And the one decision that made this team fight not work out for Immortals is the fact that Hooney pressed Q on Bard. It would have been so easy. Bard just dies, Rainover walks out, all five of them are over here. They continue to siege the turret, take it, take Dragon, whatever you want. But instead, Hooney gets picked off, gets taken out by all of TSM under turret. Immortals is kind of, on the run right now. Doublelift makes a strong-armed play, putting his faith in Bjergsen. Good individual plays right now. Immortals has to back off. TSM gets full control of bottom lane. The unfortunate thing is there's no turret for TSM to take, right? The fortunate thing, though, is that it is an Infernal Drake. So Immortals ends up coming back, taking the tower. Everything kind of evens back out. But TSM played that really well. Hooney played it overzealous. And now we're going to see the Battle of the Infernal Drake. So the big thing right now is to consider Hauntzer has teleport, Hooney does not. Hauntzer is pressuring this top lane, right? Both mid laners have a lot of wave control. So it's going to matter upon if Bjergsen can push out this mid lane, if he has enough AP. His itemization is not that strong right now. If he has enough AP to outpush Pobelter, then they can get mid control and take, dragon control along with it. So both mid laners clear the wave at the exact same time. The big difference right here is Hauntzer kind of low on mana, but this wave is dying top lane. Wave is also pushing bot lane. So if you're in Immortal's shoes right now, mid is pushed, or mid is even, which is fine. Top is pressuring, bottom is pressuring, and your top laner doesn't have teleport, their top laner does. So Hooney makes the decision right here. The farm is more important than the dragon. I think this was the wrong decision. Because, Swain, yeah, he has teleport, but he's low on mana. Hooney is strong with the Phage and Sheen. He does have 2 deaths, but, he's a lot of their front line. And keeping the pressure right here is what Immortals was trying to do. And just giving it up like that was I think that was kind of a flub. And you can see, ooh, shoot. One sec, where did I... Sorry about that, one moment. Alright. Sorry, I found it. So yeah, so they send Huni up here to get the farm instead of the dragon. TSM realizes this, they ping it, take the Infernal Drake. So this is a decision that Huni made. And in my opinion, two mistakes from Huni now. Going too deep on that bottom turret and now choosing the farm over the Drake. Um, and TSM just capitalized on it instantly. They know that Hanser has teleport advantage over him. Huni's teleport just came up, but TSM took advantage of the Drake fast enough to capitalize on it. So Rainover doing a little bit of counter jungling right here. The big issue is going to be Immortals is going to back right now. Huni, Rainover's low. Their bot lane just got back. Everybody's just kind of resetting right now. There's all this vision around Dragon that's kind of useless because Dragon's already been taken. So the big thing is, like, if you think about how much money, resources, time Immortals put into this Drake just to give it up because Huni wanted the 12 CS up here, right? He wasn't saving the tower. He was just getting the 12 CS, which is 200 gold. That Drake is going to play a much bigger part in the later game than that 12 CS is going to play. So Huni's decision making right there was a little bit off, and prioritizing the objective is, important. So TSM is going to be looking for this top tower right now, and Immortals sees this and knows, this is the next feasible objective. It's either going to be mid lane or top lane for TSM because the dragon's gone. This is just where they're going to go. And pretty much everybody has summoners up. Bjergsen doesn't have flash. Turtle doesn't have flash. So those are the two big ones without escapes. Don't have flash. Sven has flash. Double if their bot lane does, their bot lane doesn't. So focusing the AD carry is going to be a big deal right here. Bjergsen still just, maintaining mid control. Pobelter playing safe because he knows TSM has got control of this jungle. Immortals, if you look right now, look at how far back they are. They have both of these turrets up. TSM isn't even invading that far, yet look at how far back they are, Like, Immortals is feeling the pressure right now just because they keep having to anticipate the rotations that TSM is making. And TSM is a valid threat right now, with Doublelift being so strong, with Bjergsen giving him experience like that, Bjergsen being strong himself, being able to push out mid. So Immortals is kind of in a weird spot right now. They're going to try to force something with Ashe. Yep, right as I said that. This is what they need to do. They kind of feel cornered, and they felt like they needed to force something on Bjergsen because Bjergsen is the big equalizer in these fights. If they take out Bjergsen, they know he doesn't have flash. Bjergsen, if they burst him fast enough, won't be able to ult himself. But they missed the arrow, unfortunately. So they're feeling even more pressure now. They don't have that pick potential. TSM is pushing top. They're going to get this tower for free. Hanser is pushing bottom with Sven Skaren there to trail him. And so Huni is feeling pressured right now. Their top lane is feeling pressured right now. And, it's just a difficult situation for Immortals to be in. So they have to figure out something, right? So they need to, outpush mid. They need to counter gank Sven Skaren right here if he tries to dive. Sven Skaren's taking too long and they know he's here. So this is a problem. TSM spent way too much time. He went way too deep. Rainover got the time. Pobelter, already coming down. This is bad for TSM. So they're going really deep on this tower. Huni makes it out. Good play. Bjergsen gets caught. Has to blow the ult on himself. So now it's a weird kind of fight right here. So Huni doesn't have flash and he's trapped. Bjergsen has flash now. Has no ult though. However, it's a 3v5 as Wild Turtle is still in the top lane. Wild Turtle doesn't even have his arrow. So Turtle's just thinking, at this point, it was a decision for him to push this next wave. And AD carries have this issue where they feel the need to just push the entire wave, when in reality what you can do is you can just kill 2 or 3 minions, have it auto push for yourself back, and Turtle could have been in this fight. He could have been part of this, which would have been a big deal. So Huni makes it out. That's good. TSM kind of backs off. Both teams back off. It's alright. But it could have gone bad for either team. It was more of just individual mechanics that made that work out, right? So the decision making in general, not the best for either team. Hooney played it very well. Rainover and Pobelter reacted very well. It was just kind of unfortunate that they weren't able to finish off Bjergsen. So if we take a look right now, the bottom wave is pushing. Hooney's going to get a lot of CS. I'd like to pause just for a sec, take a little uh, account of how the game is going in general. The gold is completely even. So Hanser actually made it back from he was a 30 CS deficit earlier in the game. He made it back, so he's winning in farm. Both junglers are even in farm, completely even. Mid's even. The one difference is Pobelter has kills and a lot of gold over Bjergsen, and Doublelift has a lot of gold over Wild Turtle. 30, what is that? 36 CS plus 4 kills. As compared to just 3 assists. And if you look at the itemization of the 80 carries, Wild Turtle is not very confident right now. Doesn't even have his cull finished, doesn't have a full item, has a Zeal and a Caulfield's Warhammer, just, tier 2 boots. Doublelift has the Yomus, Lucian is a stronger mid-game 80 carry as it is. Wild Turtle is basically just an arrow. Doublelift is up, 2 levels on him. It's the Doublelift show. And the great thing is that he has such a strong front line in Hanser and Svenskeren. And usually you don't think of Swain as a front line, but he is tanky. He's got the Merc Treads, he's got the Rod of Ages. They've got Bjergsen's Zillion ult, So Doublelift right now is feeling good. He's feeling really strong, and he knows that it's on him to be making these plays. So right now, TSM is grouping on mid, right? They want to try to take out this mid lane. Pobelter's got blue buff. He's also Victor. They're not going to be able to do much to this mid tower unless they landed that Bard ult on Victor. So as you can see right up there, they did the Bard ult and then the double stun on Terrainover. Doesn't really do much, but if that was on Pobelter, would have been a much different story. You can't flash out of that right after the stasis wears off. You can't flash out of those 2 bombs. You get instantly stunned. You get instantly knocked up. So TSM sees Wild Turtle out of position right here. Turtle has flash. Turtle has arrow. Turtle's dead. He overextends. He's not paying much attention. Kind of wastes the arrow right here. And Doublelift is going to take him out with the culling, I hope. I mean, Turtle's doing a good job wasting a lot of their time right now. But, yeah. This was a big oversight by Turtle. So the big thing here is that Immortals tries to make something off of it. They try to get mid pushed. And so Bjergsen flashes for Pobelter. Pobelter flashes. That's a big deal. Pobelter's flash is worth much more than Bjergsen's flash at this point, because Bjergsen can save himself with his ult. Pobelter, he has nothing to get out of Biofrost ult. He has nothing to get out of Bjergsen's stun. So much CC on this TSM team. So now TSM knows they have this mid advantage. They know that their wave clear is susceptible to all their CC, right? So they're going to take the Drake. They're going to take mid control. They're basically just going to take everything they want, because that Victor flash, killing Ashe as well. Both things are just, very impactful, very good awareness from TSM to realize the advantage that they have right now. So TSM feels in control. They're backing. They've got their power spikes. They've got their, Doublelift has 2 items to, Wild Turtle's half an item? Doublelift has 2 completed items to Wild Turtle's half an item. So that's big. That's easily the biggest difference in this game right now. And so it's almost obvious that TSM is going to be going for, a pick on Pobelter soon. Pobelter has to play safe because he doesn't have flash. And they've got the Biofrost ult. They've got so much CC. So here it goes. Yep, they're looking for it, and he gets caught. As I was saying that, right? So TSM knows exactly what they have to look for. Biofrost knows Pobelter is the weak link right now. So if you look at this team fight, the setup initially, right? You have all 4 of TSM grouped up. You have the main damage source of Immortals, right? Ashe right here, like I was saying, is almost nothing. Does almost 0 damage right now. Pobelter is everything. Look who's in front. Pobelter, the mid laner, the damage dealer. TSM gets him caught, gets the two bombs on him. Spenceren's gonna get the knockup, and he's gonna get popped instantly. So Immortals right now, they have nothing. Turtle's too weak. TSM is gonna take mid control. Honestly, TSM could probably take two towers right now. Huni doesn't have TP and he's bot lane. I don't know what he's doing. He's coming up right now, but it's too late already. You know, he wasn't part of the fight. Bjergsen still got his ult. Svenskeren can just, do whatever he wants. Huni realizes his mistake, just, takes the 6 CS because he's already screwed up. And Huni's been making a lot of mistakes this game. I would attribute, 3 of the mistakes to Huni himself. And TSM, they've still got 11 seconds on Pobelter. Pobelter took heal instead of teleport. So they've still got this mid lane control. Biofrost has flash if he wants to look for a flashy stun. Bjergsen still has ult. Immortals is just trying to wave clear. But there's really not that much that they can do. Wild Turtle is so weak compared to Doublelift, and TSM just takes complete control. They've got this top lane pushing, which Ashe is going to be able to pick up, which is nice. Bot lane is pushing for Immortals, but which actually is probably the only thing preventing TSM from taking Baron right now is the bot lane pressure. So I'll skip through this replay. We already went over. I paused and stuff. So Turtle has no mana right. Oh, what the heck? They killed Bjergsen? Oh, I guess there was a team fight that happened that we weren't able to see. But so I guess Bjergsen died without using his ulti. They take out Huni, so it's just a 1-for-1 trade. Reignover is low. They have Baron control right now, and you can see TSM is pinging it hard. They know 3 of them are backing. Ashe has no mana. Adrian has no mana. Reignover is too low. And all of TSM is still strong. So they're doing it. Haunter is playing the zone game, looking for a pick, looking for somebody to overextend. TSM is not strong enough to actually finish the Baron at this point. But Bjergsen coming in, and perfect. Biofrost is playing so well this game because he knows he has Pobelter's flash timed. There's nothing that Immortals can do without Pobelter. They know he's low, so they're just going to keep targeting him over and over and over. And if he doesn't have flash and he dies, they're going to lose objectives. Look, the instant stun, the instant knockup. They try to get the shields on him, but it doesn't save him. It's a big issue. And Huni made a nice play there, but gets caught. So let me rewind just a couple seconds. So Bjergsen sets the double bomb on the TP to try to stop it, right? But Huni instantly flashes the bombs. Instantly flashes, doesn't get stunned. But if you look at this team fight, all 5 of TSM, whether they're low or not, they still have the numbers advantage. And numbers advantage in League is a massive, massive thing. Adrian has no mana. Ashe has no mana. Ashe is weak. They don't have Pobelter, right? So their whole team right now is Reignover and Huni, right? TSM has all 5 of them together. Huni gets caught, goes through the portal, kind of gets caught. Adrian doesn't have enough mana to shield him. Huni dies. Huni has made so many mistakes in this game. Way too overzealous. Blows both summoners there just to kill himself, right? And so TSM knows how this game is going right now. They are liking how it's going. They know that Huni has nothing. Haunter still has flash. Sven has flash. Biofrost. Everybody has flash. Turtle's still weak. It's 23 minutes and Turtle doesn't even have 1 item, whereas Doublelift is approaching 3. The discrepancy in this game is massive just between the two AD carries, and TSM is playing it perfectly just based on the fact that they know they have to focus Pobelter. So, it's a lot of pressure on Pobelter, but as a Victor, there's not a whole lot that you can do unless your team is backing you up properly, right? If he's got flash, yeah, there's a lot you can do. But Victors, they like to use their flash offensively, right? If he has to use it defensively constantly, that's relinquishing a lot of pressure, because one of the really strong things that Victor has is his burst, right? In team fights is if he sees Bjergsen or he sees Doublelift out of position, that flash EQ ult can do 100 to 0, you know? Ideally, he'd be playing in the backline because he is a majority of their damage at this point. I like that they are bringing up the gold right now. So if you look at the discrepancies right now, everybody's even 3,000. The entire gold league that TSM has is in Doublelift's hands. Everybody else in the game is even. And quite frankly, you know, having the gold lead in Doublelift's hands is a good thing. But that's beside the point. So if we take a look at the macro sense right now, how many pink wards does TSM have? 4 pink wards out on the map right now around Baron. How many wards do they have in this red side jungle? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 in this bush. 8 wards compared to Immortals 2, along with 4 pinks and the scuttle. So Immortals knows they are going nowhere near Baron. They're going nowhere near this. So TSM has pressure on Baron top lane, and Immortals in response thinks, okay, we should get mid control because TSM is kind of overextending in our jungle. They get the mid tower. That's nice. Adrian gets the shield for speed so that they aren't pressured anymore. You know, TSM doesn't have enough like burst to take down the Baron. They don't have any Mountain Drakes yet, but they have all of the pressure on this red side jungle. So they've also got bot lane pushing, which is pressuring Huni, who doesn't have teleport. Huni's the only teleport, and so TSM sees, okay, bot lane's pushing, we have pressure in red side, we have pressure everywhere, and Reignover blows Ragnarok, Turtle blows Arrow. They have to make the decision right now. Do they go for the 50-50? I say no in this situation. TSM is in control of this game. They don't want to blow it on a 50-50 Baron. You know, their decision making all over this game has just been much, much better than Immortals, and so they make the right decision to back off. Even though Baron was at 2,000 HP, Reignover was low. You know, they make the right decision to back off. The thing is, though, they know Infernal Drake is up, and Immortals doesn't have teleport, and all of TSM goes straight to Infernal Drake. This is awesome macro play because they see Ashe's top. They know that Reignover had to back. They know that they have pressure on Baron, so they're not going to lose it anytime soon. Free Infernal Drake, right? Especially with Svenskaren's global ultimate, so he can just go straight to it. Reignover's down here just taking Gromp. Like, there's a lot of passive stuff that Immortals is doing that's just not proactive. They're not making big plays. They're not, you know, making things happen. And TSM is reacting perfectly. Let's see. So if we're taking a look at the summoners, Huni's teleport is coming up soon. TSM, all 10 summoners are up, right? Doublelift is still extremely strong. Finally, Wild Turtle got his 2 items. Essence Reaver, kind of weak on Ashe, honestly, getting it so late. Doublelift is still very strong. Hasn't backed in a while, it doesn't look like. Or maybe he just backed. But no, I don't think he's backed in a while. And so TSM, you know, they can pressure whatever they want as long as they don't overextend. So their goal right now is going to be maintain Baron pressure, maintain pink wards, you know, keep them safe, and blow Pobelter or Turtle's flash. They do that, they win, right? If they can take out one of their flashes, then they just win any team fight because Bard will follow up with an ult. So it's kind of this passive run around, you know. Sven's messing with Reignover, Reignover's messing with Sven. Sven is looking to get vision with that sight stone deep in their jungle. Pobelter is just focused on trying to wave clear, trying to not get picked off, you know, because that's his one big issue. So Huni's got his summoners up. Hopefully he doesn't just blow them for nothing, but, you know, the last fight we saw he did. He just blew them both and killed himself. So I mean, he's 1-4. He's really weak right now. His itemization is weird with that Frozen Mallet. He's really going for the split push, but in reality, I'd give Hanser the split push over him right now. You know, with Zhonya's, with all the AP, the way Hanser's been playing is just better than Huni. Bjergsen's up 2 levels. Doublelift is up a level and a half. Biofrost is even up 2 levels on Adrian. So there's a lot of experience advantage, a lot of objective advantage that TSM has right now. The double Infernal and Wind Drake. The Cloud Drake doesn't make that much of a difference, but the double Infernal, 12% damage for everybody. That's massive. Because if you look at Hansa right now, he does so much consistent damage. Um, like, just everybody does a lot of consistent damage on TSM, and that's what you want with these Infernal Drakes. Like, they're just so strong if you're able to take advantage of them. And so TSM, you can see them pinging top lane right now. So they're wanting to make a play. They know that Hanser will beat Huni in a fight. They know that they just kind of have the macro advantage right now. They have the teleports, 2 teleports, in response to Immortals 1. Bjergsen is 16. He's the first 16 in the game, which is just, it's strong as it is. And TSM looking to make a play, get top pushing, take Baron control again, maybe take mid control. Mid control is a little bit more difficult because Victor's there to wave clear it, but so they make a great decision right now. They see Reignover trying to clear a ward. Reignover makes a big mistake. He's just trying to clear this ward. TSM capitalizes on it. They see, okay, we have Baron control, we have top control, we have 2 teleports. Reignover is caught out. We don't even have to kill him. They don't even have to kill him. They blow his Ragnarok, they get him low, and that's all they need. Doublelift actually kind of gets caught out right here. At least he's got the ult. So Immortals kind of turned this around very well. TSM overextended a little bit. They could have just backed off. They just needed to get him low so that they could take Baron control. But TSM, Sven is playing in the front. They save Doublelift. Everything is good. Huni blows his teleport just for pressure, and TSM goes back to Baron, as they know all of Immortals has to back off. So Sven looks a little bit too low. I think they're all just going to kind of reset right now. But TSM missed kind of a nice opportunity. The big thing is, though, that Immortals... One sec, sorry. Immortals only has 1 teleport, and that's Huni, and he's already used it. So they're sending Haunter down bottom, get that bottom lane pushing. Haunter's going to group, and bot lane is just going to pressure with their minions. That's how it's going to work. And then TSM is just going to, TSM will just group. Haunter knows that he's not pressured right now. Haunter doesn't have teleport, but he's confident in the 4v4 and the vision control that TSM has. So he doesn't, he's not scared at all. So right now it's going to be contingent upon one fight, or if somebody gets picked off. In reality, I don't see a lot of people getting picked off other than Pobelter and Wild Turtle. They have no escapes, and TSM has so much CC. Getting to this point as TSM, they didn't get behind in the early game. They've been playing really well. They have the item advantage, they've got the 80 carry advantage, they've got just a lot of good stuff going for them right now. I like that Wild Turtle picked up the Executioner's Calling to reduce the damage on whoever gets ulted by Bjergsen, or reduce the health, sorry, as the Grievous Wounds does affect people who are ulted by Zillion. But it's, right now, it's not really TSM versus Immortals. It's Biofrost versus, Turtle and Pobelter. It's going to be, can he land the clutch ult? Can he land the big thing? Because this entire composition from TSM is completely contingent on Bard hitting an ult. Hanser puts down his... oh, okay. I mean, yeah. We've gone over the combo before, but here we go. And Turtle gets caught. This is a big deal. Turtle thought he was out of the ring, right? He's close. Turtle has flash. Didn't use flash. The biggest issue, the biggest mistake he could make right now is not flashing this pick. Gets instant... Oh, that's lucky, actually. I think that's lucky because this one bomb was just slightly off. But, okay, Turtle gets out. They turn on Hanser. They've still got Bjergsen ult, which he uses on Hanser preemptively. They've still got Locket, which they use. And Hanser also uses Zhonya's, which I think is a bit of a mistake because he's wasting the ult right now. Okay, so Hanser flashes out. Huni, Sven are fighting on the side right here. And Reignover, everybody's just kind of getting kited. Sven gets taken down. So... right now for Immortals, they see, okay, we need a Baron. They're a little bit desperate because they know, what's happening. The Cloud Drake isn't really worth taking. Everybody's kind of strong. They've got Adrian to shield everybody. TSM is weak, and Baron is, the next objective. Bjergsen being 16, his ult comes up so fast. They know Sven Skaren when he comes up, he has his global ultimate, so he'll be able to join. The big thing TSM wants to do right now is chunk them out, not lose this fight, and they need to stop the Baron. Doublelift makes a bit of a mistake right there, going a little bit too ham, um, but they stop the Baron. That's the big deal. So TSM is going to take mid control off this, at least with double lift, because all of Immortals has to back. He might get a little bit of a chunk on the turret. He might be able to go solo the dragon. But TSM, comes out ahead in that, even though it looked like Immortals was just about to break it open with the Baron, right? But Bjergsen with his, 10-second cooldown ult, and Hauntzer's tanky AP, lots of damage, it works out for them. So that fight could have looked bad for TSM, right? Based on the fact that Immortals kind of equalized the gold lead. The big issue, though, is that right now, look at the summoners. So, Turtle doesn't have flash. Pobelter doesn't have flash. Huni doesn't have teleport or flash. Biofrost in the next 3 minutes is going to win the game for TSM. And I can tell you that right now. I have watched this game once in preparation, right? But I could tell you, even if I wasn't watching this game, even if I didn't watch this game in advance, Biofrost has a massive opportunity right now, and he knows it. So he does get a little bit chunked out, and Immortals is aware of the combo, so they need to be very careful of it. But it's going to be all on Bio for this next fight, because he's got 2 easy targets to just absolutely crush this next fight, and there's no way they can survive, right? As long as all of TSM is in position, which they have been all game, there's no way that TSM loses this next fight, as long as it happens in the next, 2.5 minutes when their flashes are down. So they're still playing the Baron dance. Huni, his teleport just came up. He's splitting bot. Hauntzer's got teleport. Bjergsen's got teleport. Most people's flashes are down, though, because of that last fight. So Turtle looks for that pick on Bio, because Immortals, they know they feel pressured by Biofrost. He's not only the easiest to pick for them, but he's also the biggest threat. It's just that simple. So he looks for the arrow and whiffs. So that's a big deal. The cooldown for the arrow is not that long, as he's got a lot of crit and cooldown reduction from the Essence Reaver, but it allows TSM to just start this Baron and just pressure Immortals. They want Immortals to come into this choke so that Bio can land a massive ult and just take them out, right? So he does land the ult. It's not the best ult, but TSM, they follow it up. They do get Reignover, and that's alright. So Reignover allows them to take Baron control. Everybody's still pretty strong on TSM, and so now it's up to Immortals to, try to keep them off the Baron. TSM still has Haunter playing Lion Duty, and it doesn't look like they're going to go for the Baron. They're looking to just back off. So this is like the 4th time that Baron has been contested and backed off. So both of these teams know they don't want to throw at Baron. Probably learning quite a bit from Dignitas, but both teams playing fairly well. Doublelift is absolutely godlike right now. He is massive. As an AD carry main, this is the kind of spot you want to be in. So TSM has bot lane pushing. One of the big things with Baron power plays is you need to be able to pressure bot lane. So Haunter goes straight bot. He's got teleport. He's got flash. Huni doesn't have teleport. Pobelter doesn't have teleport. So he's going to go pressure bottom right now, while the rest of the team goes and pressures Baron. All of Immortals has to play around Baron right now, so they either lose this bottom turret or they lose the Baron, because they have let's see, we already went over this. They have Rek'Sai ult, and they've got Haunter teleport, so they can just pressure as much as they want. TSM still feels in control, even though this game is, it looks even, but TSM is just they feel like they're in control. Doublelift is super strong, and these fights have been in general going their way. They've just been playing them smarter. Haunter's been playing much better than Huni. Just all around good play by TSM. So TSM kind of makes the decision to go for top turret now, since they're all going mid. So right now, what it looks like will happen is TSM will get this top tower, which will continue to pressure Baron harder. Immortals is kind of split, right? They don't have their 80 carry, but they kind of want to go for this mid tower, it looks like. They either have to defend top or go for mid. And it looks like they're not going to do either, actually. They're going to be too late. They're just kind of caught, dilly-dallying in their jungle. Look at how spread out they are. Look at how far back they are. They feel very pressured by the long-range CC that TSM has, just because their carries are very immobile. TSM is controlling the vision very well. One of the biggest things that that Immortals could do right now is get caught. Yeah, okay, so that's good that they both dodge it, and now Bifrost has to wait for his next ult to make this happen. I don't know how that arrow didn't hit, but it would have been a good initiation. So this fight, it's kind of lame because there's so many shields, there's so much, there's not that much burst. Even though Doublelift is strong, it's not a bursty build, it's a consistent damage build on this Lucian. And so they chunk out Reignover, and that's all they want. They call off the push, and they say, Reignover's low, we're going for Baron. Or we're going to pressure Baron. They think that they're on Baron because they have no vision there. So that Hawkshot is super slow. TSM could have actually taken it in that time, but instead they look for this play on Immortals right now. They're looking for the fight, even though they don't have Biofrost ult. They're kind of just looking to blow some summoners, maybe out of Pobelter and Ashe, but if you can see the waves right now, top wave pushing towards Immortals, bottom wave pushing towards Immortals, blue buff is coming up. On the opposite side, TSM, they need to make a play on this Baron, right? They have all the pressure in the world, and they have just kept Immortals on their back, on their heels the entire time, which is difficult to do against such a great team. But the macro play out of TSM right now has just been excellent, and it's awesome to see. So both mid laners got blue. It's just kind of resetting, and I'm hoping that in the next in the next reset it'll all work out. Let me make sure that it's still recording. Yeah, okay, we're good. So Reignover's very tanky, Huni is very tanky, Sven is very tanky. There's just a lot of damage, a lot of CC on both teams. So Elder Dragon is a thing now as well. Elder Dragon and Baron, both very strong objectives to be taking. For the first time, you kind of see TSM on the back foot right now. We see Huni's got teleport, so he's looking to teleport. But TSM catches Pobelter, and he flashes out, which is good because Biofrost was a little bit too far back. Doublelift is just shelling out damage right now, is godlike, as you can see, but he's right there. That's the mistake. Doublelift cannot. There's still 4 people. Like I was saying, League is a numbers game. That's why Zilean is so difficult to play against, because it just adds another person, right? It revives another person. If you're dashing into 4 people, no matter how strong you are, you're just going to get blown up. And Doublelift is a majority of their damage. Where's their other damage come from? Haunter, very low, like consistent damage. Bjergsen, very kind of low-ish damage, right? And they've still got Turtle's dead now, but they've still got Pobelter, Adrian, Reignover. They've still got the more damage. So that was a big issue on Doublelift. He should not have died right there. And Pobelter just kind of, he cleans up. He cleans house, which is really nice. TSM gets wiped just off of one dash forward that Doublelift made. And if you can tell, there's a pattern in this game. This is why these guys are pros. The plays that are being made are, contingent upon just a couple individual decisions. Like in that last fight, Doublelift's dash forward lost them the fight. One dash. In that bottom turret dive earlier, Um, Hooney's dash into the fight lost it for them. It's these little things that make the biggest difference. So Doublelift is full HP. He knows they don't have exhaust. They're all low. He could easily wrap around here and just keep damaging, keep damaging. He's not pressured right now, and he sees Wild Turtle. He gets greedy for Wild Turtle. Adrian does a lot of burst. Turtle does a lot of burst. Pobelter instantly sees him forward. Look at this laser. Perfect time. He sees Doublelift walking forward. Adrian sees them walking forward. They're all on the same page. And Doublelift dies in less than a second. Absolutely demolished. And the fight just, if he's the strongest member of the team, that's... Oh, shoot. It looks like Immortals got Baron off of that play as well. But if he's the strongest member of the team, you need to act like it. You can't just, make the hero play and kill yourself, or attempt to make the hero play. So Immortals gets Baron right here, and alright, we're looking at the summoners just for a second. So top lane is pushing for TSM, bottom lane is pushing for Immortals. It's an Elder Drake. Immortals already got Baron. Let's look at the summoners. Pobelter doesn't have flash. Ashe doesn't have flash. Nobody has flash. Look at this clump. And look at Biofrost. Biofrost is looking for the ult. Yep, there it is. 3 people. And all of TSM is ready. He gets that insane stun on Pobelter and Wild Turtle, Both of them die instantly. Who cares about a Baron, right? TSM does not care that they have Baron. TSM is thinking, all right, top wave is huge. We're going to take an inhibitor off of this. That was absolutely incredible by Biofrost, and he has been making, he's been having great ults all game. Not only the ult though, but the stun afterwards hits both of them, right? And it was just, I don't know, it was just an excellent play by everybody. Even after taking Baron, most teams would just say, all right, they got Baron, back off, reset, just hold. No. Biofrost saw the opportunity and took it, and now TSM is looking to punish hard. And they're looking to finish, actually, because they've got, 20 seconds on all 3 of them. And this is the right decision by TSM. So, like I was saying earlier, it's not up to... And TSM wins. Okay, so just kind of an overview of this game. I was saying the entire time it's always up to Biofrost, right? It's going to be up to Biofrost's ult. It's going to be up to his stuns. Doublelift is strong, but that hero play he tried to make by dashing in, it wasn't his play to make. It's Biofrost's play to make. It's Biofrost who will be setting up these team fights, and he needed to trust that Bio would hit that stun that he did, And it ended up working out for TSM. But in reality, you just have to realize your win condition. The win condition in this scenario was Biofrost hits an ult on one of their carries, or, in this case, both of their carries, and just, annihilates them. With Bjergsen's stun, with Rek'Sai knockup, So, I thought this was a great game to do a VOD review of. Both teams played macro really well. There was about 4 or 5 instances where Baron, was danced around. They got ran over low, overchased just a little bit, couldn't take Baron themselves. All the vision control, all of the CC, the team fights were played very well on both sides. I think, honestly, Hooney made way too many mistakes this game. He got caught. Or he didn't even get caught. He just, in the team fights, just went too deep, and he's not really a tank. He never got the split push going. He never got the, big advantage that they wanted, even though he got that first kill on Hanser for First Blood. That should have just cascaded them. Hooney, in particular, cascaded them into victory. And then made that one flub by dashing in on Biofrost in that bot lane, got split from the team, got killed. They won the team fight. That one teleport that Hooney made in the mid-side brush, where he flashed and teleported, followed the Bard portal, and just got bursted down. He made a lot of mistakes this game. And I think that, not having that frontliner to protect them, not having that, threat that Hooney usually is, put a lot more pressure on Wild Turtle and Pobelter because they're playing very static champions where they can't move around that much. They don't have that much mobility. That's why they had Karma to shield to give them speed and stuff. But um, without that Irelia being able to pressure TSM, in return, Victor and Ash are just pressured by Bard, you know? And overall, TSM just played really well. And a lot of good, macro, micro plays, a lot of little mistakes, but both teams capitalized on them very well. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed my kind of analysis, play-by-play of this game. And I look forward to speaking to you guys again. So, yeah, thank you very much.